I would like to welcome you to the second annual induction ceremony of Beta Upsilon Delta Chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, International Honor Society. Welcome college administrators, faculty and staff, inductees, members, families, friends, and honored guests. I am Michelle Bridgers, the chapter president. On the platform with me are, from my right, Max Herbert, inductee representative, Dr. Bill Carver, president of Nash Community College, Senator Angela Bryan, our keynote speaker this evening, Mike Latham, Dean of Instruction, Robin Latham, chapter advisor, Billy Notch, president of the Carolinas region, Andre Johnson, chapter vice president, June Pittman, chapter secretary, and Zandre Thomas, chapter public information officer. Phi Theta Kappa was founded in 1918 in Missouri, and since 1929, the organization has been recognized as the American Association of Community Colleges as the official honor society for two-year colleges. Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society recognizes and encourages the academic achievement of students in two-year colleges and provides opportunities for individual growth and development through honors, leadership, and service programming. The largest academic honor society in American higher education, Phi Theta Kappa has over 2.5 million members, 1,250 chapters worldwide, and provides over $37 million in scholarships exclusively for Phi Theta Kappa members. Now we will have greetings from Dr. Carver, followed by remarks from Billy Notch. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome you to our campus and to this event. As we head into graduation, we have many ceremonies. But tonight we pause to celebrate accomplishments of these individuals at a high level. You have done a great deal of work, and it shows. And I've gone through the line kind of teasing with some of the students here and said, "What's your grade point average?" And they're all way up there. So I do congratulate you on your accomplishment. Nash Community College takes a great deal of pride in helping you get to these seats that you're sitting in now. And I was reminded by a student that said that Nash Community College is worth more than it charges. This is an example, I think, of the value that you get here in the instructional talent, the equipment that we have. And I was telling Billy earlier, I said, the community college students, you know what they get to do? They get to touch our stuff. They get up close and personal with our instructors. Isn't that right? I see a nod of the head. Let's get some more nods over here. Thank you. But again, on behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the Board of Trustees, welcome to our campus and congratulations, students.
Hi, how y'all doing today? I want to thank y'all for including me in your induction ceremony. And before I do, I just want to say, I've been saying it since I've been here, what a beautiful campus this is. Y'all are very fortunate to have such a beautiful campus. The Carolina region consists of 84 chapters in the great states of North and South Carolina. And Nash Community College is our newest chapter. And I just want to congratulate each and every one of you on your accomplishments. Induction ceremonies are one of my favorite Phi Theta Kappa events. Because after today, you can completely have a different college experience depending on how involved you want to be with your chapter. I hope to see more of you throughout the year at our regional events. And again, congratulations once again, and thank you so much. Have a great time.
Good evening. I'm pleased to introduce our keynote speaker, Senator Angela Bryan. Senior consultant and co-founder of Visions Incorporated, Senator Bryan is the former director and one of the developers of the Wright Center, Visions' award-winning multicultural adult daycare facility in Rocky Mount. She earned her Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and her Juris Doctor at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Senator Bryan was a charter member and former president of the North Carolina Association of Women Attorneys and the 1983 Lawyer of the Year for the North Carolina Association of Black Lawyers. She received the 2006 Distinguished Alumni Award from UNC Chapel Hill for community service for outstanding contributions to humanity in striving to build a society that seeks to achieve social justice for all. Senator Bryant served on the City Council of Rocky Mount, Ward 4, for 3 years and briefly served as Mayor Pro Tem before being appointed to the House of Representatives on January 23, 2007. On January 7, 2013, she was appointed to the North Carolina Senate to represent Halifax, Nash, Vance, Warren, and Wilson counties. Without further ado, I present Angela Bryan.
I want to thank Robin for that really gracious introduction, and good evening to all of you. I want to start by recognizing the great leaders here at the college, the members of the board, President Carver, faculty, staff, and students. Thank you all for the hard work you do to provide superior educational services and opportunities to our community. I also want to give thanks and recognition to all of the family and friends here who are here to celebrate the great accomplishments of the students who are being inducted into the Honor Society this evening. Thank you so much for inviting me to be with you on this great occasion. What an honor it is to celebrate with you the fruits of your hard work. The hard work you've done, the reviewing you've done, the redos you've done to improve your work, and the collaboration you've had to engage in to accomplish the sustained performance necessary to be a part of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Roll Society. What a distinguished and outstanding accomplishment on your parts. I hope you will not stop with this honor, but that you will build on these accomplishments to continue your educational pursuits, to complete associate degrees, career certifications, bachelor and master's degrees, and doctorate degrees as well. That you will use this as a springboard, a launching pad to move forward from here. If there is one thing I want you to know, it is that education is truly important to me as your state senator and to my colleagues in the General Assembly and to all the leaders and officials in our community. In fact, it is indeed one of my and our top priorities to ensure that every person in our community has an opportunity to receive a high-quality education that will guarantee them a more promising future. Notice I said every person, not every child, because education is a lifelong pursuit and a lifelong need and a lifelong opportunity. And this community college helps provide that opportunity throughout the lifespan for all of us here in the community. Your educational accomplishments will set you on a path towards success. It will open doors for you to explore avenues that you may not have ever imagined. By distinguishing yourself as an honor student, you have become a leader in educational achievement on this campus. I believe it is imperative that we as state officials inspire the next generation of future leaders to get involved and give back to our state and to our communities. So what does it mean to become a leader? What words come to your mind when you think about becoming a leader? Somebody give me an example of the words that come to your mind. Just yell them out. What'd you say? Flexibility. Can I get another? What? Responsibility. Maturity. Integrity. Respectable. Any others? Humility. What else? Character. Anyone else? Those are all important qualities for a leader. And one of the things that is important to think about in being a leader is that you have to be someone that others want to follow. And some of those qualities you mentioned, integrity, character, flexibility, being respectable and respectful. All of those qualities are important if you want others to follow you. A leader is someone who inspires action, energy, confidence, direction, struggle, achievement, accomplishment, and shares in the work and in the success. So how can you become leaders or better leaders? I'm sure all of you are already leaders because you have indicated that in the educational achievement that you have accomplished. There are several pointers I wanted to share with you because when I talked to Robin at an event I saw her at on Thursday night, I said, well, what can I talk about that might be interesting? So if you're bored, you can blame Robin. She said, well, I think leadership would be good. What could you offer us to think about in terms of developing your leadership from here? And so I thought about it and talked to some other folks who I admire, and I just have a few pointers I want to share with you. One is learning to improve your decision-making skills. Great leaders have the ability and the courage to make decisions. Learn to help create the decision-making process for the situation you're in. Does this group take a vote to make a decision? Does a committee decide and then make a recommendation or a suggestion? Do you poll people, ask around, and then as a formal and informal leader, and then make a recommendation? What information is needed for a good decision? Do you need help to get that information? What are the pros and cons? And make sure you have weighed those pros and cons with the people who will be affected by the decision. Some people hold back from making unpopular decisions. In addition, other people fear making a wrong decision. However, a good leader realizes that he or she will sometimes make a wrong decision. Rather than dwell on the wrong choice, they learn from their mistakes and move forward. Always remembering that your process of including other people affected by the decision will have more weight in how people feel about the decision than the actual decision itself. An example I saw recently was a group I was working with, and there was a dispute in the group between some of the people on staff because they had discussed in a meeting one of the ideas that the leader had, and they all had given pros and cons and agreed that the cons outweighed the pros and that they would not use that decision. Then they went to a meeting about a month later with other partners, and again emerged the leader's same decision that they had just discussed amongst themselves and decided against. They then felt betrayed by the leader, or that the leader went around them and their decision of the group to then make another effort to get their decision on the table. And so it created a lot of dissension in the group that would have been unnecessary if the leader had just come back to the first group that met and said, I want to still pursue this decision, and I think I can get support with this next group. So it's really important that leaders be clear about how the decision is going to be made and be fair with people we're involved with as we make the decision along the way. Becoming a motivator is also an important part of being a leader. Those who lead a team or organization are great to follow when they wholeheartedly believe in the common mission and vision and goals of the effort. Their decision, their dedication to the mission can motivate everyone else into action. Their leadership also has to be grounded in understanding the varying desires and interests of the people involved in that effort. Dwight Eisenhower said, leadership is the art of getting someone else to do something you want done because they want to do it. So it is learning what the group wants to do and merging that with what you want to do, and then motivating them to do what they want to do in any event. It is better, Nelson Mandela said, to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate the victory, when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership, and surely he exemplified that. I was also thinking about this as last night the NAACP was having a demonstration at the General Assembly where apparently the group had decided that they were going to continue to sing and pray even after they had been asked to disperse, and as a result of that, they would each get arrested. Reverend William Barber is one of the leaders of the NAACP. Regardless of how you feel about the NAACP, it's very clear that you have to be a motivator to get other people to make, along with you, to make that kind of sacrifice. So that takes demonstrating a commitment to the mission and vision of your organization, their commitment to express concern about some of the policies they feel are hurting poor people and limiting their access, and to wanting to sing and pray about that, motivated others to make that sacrifice. Another important example or a quality for being a leader, or something we would want to learn in being a leader, is to listen. And this is one I have worked really hard at being better at. A great leader always listens to other individuals in order to gain insight, information, and perspective, while also taking our own ideas and thoughts into consideration. It is really important to learn to reflect back what you have heard from others in order to get their confirmation, and also to close the feedback loop with them, to have them confirm being heard and being listened to. I don't know if this ever happens to you, but are you ever so excited or focused on what it is you want to say or what it is you want to happen that that's all you have your mind on, and when the meeting is over, you forgot what the other folks were really suggesting, and the main thing you can remember is what idea you went in with anyway. And I've had to learn to compartmentalize or park my own idea and allow space to listen to what others are suggesting so that I can truly put them together. Listening means taking into account what I hear. Now, it doesn't always mean doing what everybody I'm listening to wants me to do, but it means hearing what they say and taking account of it and acknowledging it to them. And if I'm going to do something different or something in addition to what they want, to expressing that or taking account of that. That goes back to that first example I gave of the leader who heard her group but then proceeded to try up the chain of events with another group to get her event on the table without coming back to the first group to say, acknowledge that I heard your concerns, that why you think this won't work, and this is why I want it explored again. It's also important to notice, are we listening to all the voices? If people like me, I speak up, I'm assertive, I talk a lot, you'll hear me. But who are the people in the group that are more quiet or more thoughtful or that are not speaking? Notice who's speaking and who isn't, who's engaged and sitting, leaning in, and who's sitting back, who's on time and who's late or who stopped coming. It's important to make sure we're listening to all the voices. Next idea for a good leader. Recognize our own personal shortcomings and be willing to give and receive authentic feedback. Great leaders make mistakes. Rather than feel that your feelings and opinions are always right, take a candid look at your behavior and traits. Identify your faults and accept and act on constructive criticism. Next idea about good leaders is to continually improve your oral and written communication skills. Yes, even in this day of email, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all of these other instant messaging and texting, even in this environment, it's important to have good written and oral skills. Effective leaders must express their thoughts and visions in a clear and understandable manner. Take public speaking courses, practice speaking aloud, slowing down. Do y'all think I'm talking too fast? If you so, raise your hand. I'm often told I talk too fast. One of the senior senators that is in the Senate was telling me on the side one day, he said, I like listening to you on the floor, but you just talk too fast. If you slow down, I might could pick up what you're saying. And he said, in addition, tell me what's fact and what's just what Angela wants and what Angela is thinking. And so it is important to slow down. So we can practice speaking, we can think and plan before we speak. All of those things are helpful. With writing, it's important to practice. and get feedback. There are also writing courses that are good for skill building, including business writing courses. And sometimes when I know someone that's a really good writer, I ask them to look at what I've written and give me their feedback. That's always a great idea and a great gift if you're a good writer to give to others who are wanting to improve their writing. 3 final things. Be willing to take risks. There are risks associated with every decision. Some people avoid risk and only want the safe road. However, a great leader knows that certain risks are worth taking. Learn to bridge differences and embrace conflict. There are differences in how people think, how people feel, and how people do things. And it's important to learn to notice and recognize and learn about those differences and learn to use those differences for the benefit of the whole group. Sometimes differences can be rooted in race or gender or economic class background or language and nationality or physical ability or age or generation. So make sure we are noticing and looking for inclusion and exclusion around any of those variables, and that we understand the history of inclusion and exclusion and how it may be playing out in the particular setting that we are in. If we don't know that, it's important to be open to listening and learning about and asking about those differences and the impact those differences are having, and then taking steps to bridge differences by making contact and including people rather than avoiding issues and conflicts. It's also important not to shy away from people who raise issues and conflicts, because sometimes in the issues and conflicts they raise against the grain or sort of against the piece of the group can have information in it that can help improve the working of the group, or that can be used to accomplish the goals of the group. So I have always learned that there's value in the point of view of everybody in a group or a team or in an effort. Even that person who is kind of irritating or aggravating to me and that they keep raising the issue, or whose style is a little bit different, I'll ask myself, what can I learn? What is it about that difference that I can learn from? And what is it that I need to do or learn or figure out that can help me embrace that difference or connect with them more or use their information for the good of the group? Finally, it's helpful to be, of course, trustworthy. We all want leaders who are honorable, dependable, and responsible. Good leaders accomplish results and the overall goal. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And I would add, if they don't know the way, they're willing to ask. You cannot take people where you have not already been yourself. And you have all accomplished academic success. And you can take others down that path to success because you have been there. You have walked that path, and you know what it takes. So use your success and experience to lead others to success and accomplishment. I asked one of the deans of the General Assembly, our oldest member, our actual oldest member, Representative Mickey Michelle. Some of you may have heard of him before. What was his favorite quote? He has a lot of great quotes that he uses when he closes speeches, and he's one of those folks, if you've ever heard them, who knows who quotes his quotes from memory. He knows all these poems and quotations from memory. And I can't do that, but he was willing to share with me one of his favorite quotes, and I hope you like it. It comes from a man named Dean Alphonse, and it's around 1900. And he says, "I do not choose to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon, if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dulled by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to barter incentive for a dole. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will not trade freedom for beneficence, nor my dignity for a handout. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It is my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to think and act for myself, enjoy the benefit of my creations, and to face the world boldly and say, "This I have done." All this is what it means to be an American. All this is what it means to be a leader. Thank you.
Good evening. The torch is symbolic of knowledge, the servant of wisdom which dwells with prudence and leads in the way of righteousness in the midst of the path of judgment. The light of knowledge and learning guides the members of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society.
Good evening. The white rose is a symbol of purity and beauty of life, with its white buds signifying intellectual associations.
Good evening. The emblem of Phi Theta Kappa contains many elements that represent the ideals of our society. The golden field refers to the golden opportunities that abound on every hand for society members to demonstrate their culture and perform good works. The black band represents the three ideals which bind us together: true wisdom, aspiration, and purity. The oak leaves stand for stability and strength of character. The leaves of the laurel signify achievement and success. The image of Athena is a symbol of learning. This badge stands as a symbol for the high ideals of our organization and membership in our select group.
Inductees, you are about to be inducted into a scholarly fellowship of Phi Theta Kappa, which embraces community colleges not only of your own state, but of the nation and the world. The Constitution of this organization seeks to foster a spirit of devotion to intellectual pursuits and to scholarly ideals among its members, and the organization's principles are embodied in Greek letters which stand for wisdom, aspiration, and purity. Now that the standards and ideals of this organization have been fully revealed to you, you come to be inducted, and in just a few moments you will recite the pledge which admits you into the complete fellowship in Phi Theta Kappa. After induction, you will find among the members an atmosphere of scholarship to which you must give of yourself in order that the organization may be meaningful to you. Just a few weeks ago, I was honored to attend the 95th Annual Phi Theta Kappa International Convention. This event was spectacular, it was inspiring and motivating. I am privileged to have the opportunity to bring the knowledge and leadership skills that I have learned from the convention back to Nash Community College, my fellow student body, my fellow Phi Theta Kappians. I am also deeply honored to be continuing into the next year as the president of Beta Upsilon Delta Chapter. I'm also very pleased to inform everyone that our chapter, Beta Upsilon Delta, was awarded Best New Chapter of Phi Theta Kappa in the Carolinas region. I encourage new, existing, and alumni members to uphold the honor that has been bestowed upon us by Phi Theta Kappa. As scholars, leaders, and representatives of Nash Community College, I challenge each of you to embrace fully the ideals represented by the Greek letters of Phi Theta Kappa: wisdom, aspiration, and purity.
Good evening. Representing the curriculum faculty of Nash Community College, it is my distinct honor and privilege to present our best, our brightest, the 2012 inductees to Phi Theta Kappa. If you'll come forward as I call your name. Christy L. Agee. Tediata Alston. Brittany R. Andrews. Jessica Marie Avila. Melissa Webb Boyd. LaShonda Moody Kane. Ross Chandler. Mandy Jean Cockrell. Chelsea Lynn Crocker. Ashley Nicole Daughtridge. Timothy Donnell Davenport. Courtney Naquan Davis. Yolanda H. Davis. Baby Renee Esau. David Lamont Fate. William Ryan Jeans. Heather Fern Godfrey. Cindy M. Harrison. Erica Morgan Harrison. On stage, Melissa Herbert. Juanita LaTanya Jones. Danielle Denise Joyner. Tamika LaShawn Joyner. Cheryl A. Landon. Bradley S. Leonard. Twanda H. Lewis. Brenda D. Lowe. Excuse me, one line off. Katrina Evans Mills. Melissa Elaine Moore. Kelly Renee O'Brien. Deborah Renee Parker. Lisa Ann Ratner. Taylor N. Rawls. Stephanie Brooke Richardson. Joanna Whitley Schaefer. Morgan Page Simmons. Andrea Nanette Smith. David Thomas Smith. Jordan Justice Stallings. Chantia Stewart. David Benjamin Watts. Amani Z. West. Stephanie Diana Williams. Daniel Wren.
Please repeat after me the pledge of Phi Theta Kappa Society. I solemnly promise to uphold the standards of Phi Theta Kappa and to keep this object and aim in mind. I do solemnly pledge allegiance to my fellow members and promise to aid them in all worthy endeavors.
It is my pleasure to welcome you into the Beta Upsilon Delta chapter of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and the lively fellowship of scholars it affords. I salute you for your accomplishment. I charge you to explore always for truth and to dedicate yourselves to the cultivation of the well-reasoned life, a prelude to service and to honor. Congratulations to our inductees. Inductees, you may extinguish your candles. Let's give them another round of applause while they're filing for their seats. And for those of you that don't know, Jordan Stallings happens to also be the president of our Student Government Association. Let's give her a round of applause. Exemplifying leadership in all its aspects. And how about one more round? And now it's my pleasure to present a young lady who exemplifies leadership every day. Her name is Max Herbert, and she is the president of our Published Ink Creative Writing and Visual Arts Club, as well as a new inductee of Phi Theta Kappa. Max has a few wonderful words for us.
Thank you. Picture a pebble that's just been dropped into a puddle. It creates waves. The waves continue in an ever-reaching circle, eventually expanding to include the entire puddle. Sometimes the pebble is small, but it still creates waves. Sometimes the pebble is larger, and the waves it creates are larger as well. But the most waves, the biggest change, the greatest impact is made by numerous pebbles. A true leader can be a pebble in the puddle of the world. A true leader can make a splash in a puddle so that the waves soar to oceanic proportions. A true leader can make everyone they touch pebbles as well, so that combined, they can make the oceanic tide reverberate. You sit here today because Phi Theta Kappa is saying that you are already a pebble in the puddle. Phi Theta Kappa is telling you that you are a leader, that you are someone who can create waves. Being inducted into Phi Theta Kappa is not just an honor. It is not just a celebration of your dedication and hard work. It is an understanding that you are committed to fulfilling your potential in the world. Being a member of Phi Theta Kappa says that you are taking what you do here at Nash Community College seriously. That you are the type of person who is willing to do the work that is required to rise to the top. That you are bright and fierce and motivated. When you sat down tonight, you no doubt noticed a pebble in your chair. I hope that you keep that pebble as a reminder of this day, to remind you of the impact you can have on the world. I hope that you are as honored, humbled, and inspired as I am to be inducted into this outstanding honor society. And I hope that you, like me, look forward to being a pebble in the puddle, so that combined, we can make the oceanic tide reverberate with our future.
Thank you, Max. And now I have a couple of special items. We'd like to recognize our keynote speaker this evening. So if Dr. Carver would come to the podium, we have a couple of small gifts. You want to say anything about what it is?
Angela? That's a token. You probably know what it is already. You know, sometimes, look, we can make politicians smile even when it's tough out there. But hopefully something that you can have in your office. If the chapter president will come up and help me present this to Senator Bryan.
Oh, thank you.
That is the seal of the Senate with her name on it for her office. Presented.
I have to tell you the story that I spoke at a commencement some years ago and got one when I was in the North Carolina House. And when I moved my office after getting appointed to the Senate, we were moving everything and putting it up, and it hung over my door. And so we were putting the seal up, and somebody said, "You can't put that seal up. That's the North Carolina House, and now you're in the North Carolina Senate." So I didn't have one for the North Carolina Senate, and I did still have the one for the House on my wall. I said, once in the House, you're always in the House. But now I have one for the Senate, and so that is so precious. Thank you so much.
And we also are presenting her with a Phi Theta Kappa key pin. Let's give her another round of applause. Thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Carver and all of our platform guests tonight. I'd like to thank all the families and friends for being here with us. So let's give ourselves another round of applause. I'm all about applause. That last one was for Dr. Moorbutter. As we get ready to exit this evening, we do want to remind you that we're going to be taking photos and fellowshipping together to celebrate this wonderful evening. So, inductees, if you'll rise.